the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. If the sea that we'll look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, or I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me.
Yaron Spiwak, thank you very much.
I'm standing by you, Keith.
We're standing by you, baby, even though we're in different elements of the land of West Hollywood. We are standing with you metaphorically, and deeply appreciative of you bringing your talent and your gifts to us as you do each and every Sunday morning. So thank you so much for standing by us today and sharing that song that so many of us love and adore. So good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and I am the spiritual leader, is my title here, for the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. We are a community that practices metaphysics, and specifically more the philosophy and faith and way of life known as the science of mind. I welcome you here today. If it's your first time joining us, I welcome you to be a part of our online virtual community. I invite you to make sure that you keep your cameras turned off during this time, as we are live today, both on Zoom as well as through Facebook Live. So let's all take a moment and just say hello virtually to everyone that's out there as we begin our service today, and make sure that you're in a space that you can just chill out and relax and take in what's transpiring today by means of our service, as well as just be able to receive the messages that come both through the Spirit itself, by means of me, and by means of the music and the multimedia presentation that we have for you, as well as through our guest musician today that I'm so happy to introduce you to. She's here from Portland, Oregon. She's a longtime peer of mine and friend. Laura, can you come on camera? I'd like to introduce you to Laura Berman. who's here to share her grace and her elegance and her beauty and her talent and her original music with us today. So Laura, thank you for being here, and I know that we're all excited to hear more from you later in our service. So I look forward to seeing you then. And so if you'll all turn to your screen, I'm going to get us started on our morning service and have us get into the process. And so, as I said before, we're a community that comes together each and every Sunday morning to celebrate the power of the divine that exists within you and within me. One of the basic philosophies of components of the teachings of the science of mind is that there's only one thing ever taking place. We call it God. It's also known as life, the thing itself, source, or you can call it whatever it is that you call it. But it exists within us, and what we know is the more that we call it, the more that it responds to us, if you will, because we are developing a consciousness that is reflective of the very thing itself. The qualities that we are each imbued with as the thing itself are peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. And so you and I, as we attune our mindset, our consciousness, our actions, our reactions, and our interactions with life itself as those qualities of the divine, then we attract back into our world more and more of the very thing that we each are, and we are collectively. And in so doing, we participate in this cyclical nature of the creative law of life doing its part through us, ultimately for the objective and the outcome to make a difference on our planet, of radiating at a higher vibrational frequency that propagates and perpetuates more and more of the thing itself. And so this morning we come together as a community with the spirit in each and every one of us, honoring the spirit in all of humanity, and specifically those of you that are joining us this morning. And so we welcome you into our service this morning, which is known as a celebration service. And the purpose of this service is to celebrate who and what we all are as individualizations of the only thing there is. We welcome all races, all religions, all countries of origin, all sexual orientations, all genders, all abilities, for we stand with you, as Yaron just sang to us, to thus you know that in this community, just as you are indeed safe. And as our founding minister used to say each and every Sunday morning, and for those of you that recall it, please say along in the privacy of your own home, we welcome one and we welcome all. We open our Sunday celebration service with a ritual called Calling in the Light. And the purpose of this ritual is for you and I to anchor into the presence that exists within us, to go deep within our own psyche and soul and being, and to call forth, not literally, but to call forth metaphorically, to ignite the light that already exists within us, remembering that it's one of the qualities of the divine. And as you and I call it forth and bring it into our field of experience and expression, then we align ourselves with that thing that I was speaking of earlier, giving us the opportunity to not only radiate more of it, but to be a conscious participant in the change that we are seeking to express and experience. And so this ritual gives us the opportunity to do that. And so we begin with a prayer. And I'm going to play some music behind the prayer, and I invite you to just settle in and to feel the presence. And as I affirm this prayer, I invite you to affirm it for yourself. Beginning with the end in mind, the prayer by Joshua Silver. I am you. You are me. We are one. And all is well. the change me prayer. Divine beloved, change me into someone who can give with complete ease and abundance, knowing you are the unlimited source of all. Let me be an easy, open conduit for your prosperity. Let me trust that all of my own needs are always met in amazing ways. And it is safe to give freely as my heart guides me. And equally, please change me into someone who can feel wildly open to receiving. And let me know my own value, beauty, worthiness without question. Let me allow others the supreme pleasure of giving to me. And let me feel worthy to receive in every possible way. And so as we light the candle, igniting the words of that prayer, remembering that we're not asking some power outside of us, beseeching to do these things for us. It's in the affirmative of the declaration that it's already true, and we are creating a change within ourselves by being the change we desire to see. The next part of our ritual is singing a song together called Calling in the Light. The lyrics to the chorus are on the screen. Yaron will take us through that, and I invite you to sing along in the privacy of your own home. And I'll end that with an affirmative prayer.
Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. I am love, I am peace in my heart, I am free, I am spirit, I am soul, all together we are whole. And calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. Calling in the light, oh love. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
And so it is. The light is indeed called in within each one of us. As we sit together with our eyes closed, we see into the back of our eyelids the very light itself. As we affirm together that this light is a remembrance of the thing itself, life. That very essence that gives us the opportunity to express the only thing there is. And so we continue to share it this morning, honoring it deep within each and every one of us and honoring it for all of humanity. We light this candle this morning as a healing candle for any and all who are in need of healing, both at the physical level and the emotional level. Affirming specifically for our country, which is in a deep calling for healing at this very moment. We declare for anyone who has lost a loved one today, a healing as well. And specifically, we put into the light this morning the name of Kendall Evans, a beloved friend of those in our community. And we remember that life indeed is good, and so we choose to be good in it. And remember that as we continue on this journey of personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, that the creative power of life is always doing its part. And so we do ours. And our role in that right now is to just simply be the presence. And so we do that with awareness, with grace, with purpose, and with gratitude for the opportunity to not only come together this morning, but to be awake and alert and alive for the opportunity to grow. So here we grow again. And let it be, as we all say together, amen, and so it is. As I shared with you earlier, we have a wonderful musician with us this morning, someone that I've known over the years. She's an amazing talent, and she's very well known in the religious science and Centers for Spiritual Living movement, as well as the Unity movement. She is the originator and writer of her composer and lyricist on her own songs. As I said, she lives in Portland, Oregon. She's just a delightful individual and expression of spirit. It's my great pleasure to present to you Laura Berman. Laura, what song are you singing for us this morning?
Good morning. I'm going to share a song that I wrote called Roots.
Great. So I hand it over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Berman.
There's a deepening, no need for words. Still inside, I speak. I know I will be heard. I will be heard. Yeah. Well, I've misunderstood. This life is safe and grand and good. Feed my soul till I reach the bottom, and it's deeper than I have ever known. Well, here I am found, now till ever after, and this love is but a sound. It roots me down, yeah. Your love, it roots me down, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Well, I was a fallen one. Now that's a way that won't work, no, no, it won't work. Still I am holding on. the road. I won't split my time anymore. Feed my soul till I reach the bottom, and it's deeper than I have ever known. It is deeper. Well, here I am found, now till ever after, and this love is but a sound. It roots me down. Oh yeah, your love, it roots me down, and the root grows me together, and the root is mine forever and ever and ever. Ooh, feed my soul till I reach the bottom, and it's deeper than I have ever known. Well, here I am found, yeah, now till ever after, and this love, your love is but a sound. It roots me down, yeah. Your love, it roots me down. You root me, you root me down. Your love, it roots me down. And the root grows me together, and the root is mine forever and ever and ever.
Thank you. How beautiful and touching, and taking us on a journey of something that I'm sure so many of us can relate to, of going deeper and deeper into our soul, not just from a personal perspective, but on the journey we've all been on since we have been locked down in our home environments. And so thank you, Laura. It's a really wonderful to have you with us. We had been attempting to have Laura with us in our space on La Brea Avenue for quite some time, and that did not get worked out. So it's a real pleasure to have you here with us virtually, Laura Berman. So a big applause to you from our community, and thank you for being here. And so speaking of going deeper and deeper into our soul and finding our roots there, I know that the journey that we've been on over the last several months, has been one that oftentimes has been very dark on some levels, and it's also been one that has caused us to be very serious in life itself. And so the journey that I want to take us on this morning is going to be a bit more lighthearted than normal. It's going to hopefully bring you some joy and some fun, and be stimulating to you to ask yourself what it is that's important to you in your life, and to just begin to see things in a new light as we continue on this journey of life, knowing that as all is prescribed for us, it appears that certainly we won't be together anytime soon as a community at 1200 North La Brea Avenue on a Sunday morning, but we also, many of us, will not be able to come face to face and spend time together and hug each other. And so this morning, I want to stimulate us to think anew, and to begin to ask ourselves some really fun and important questions. And so I open this morning with this slide that prompts me to ask myself oftentimes in life this very question. And she says right here, she gives me life. And so what does that mean? Well, she gives me life in today's modern terminology is somewhat of a slang term, but certainly very well known in the drag community. And the term she gives me life is a term that is defined as anything that you get excited or pumped up about, anything that makes you laugh emphatically, such as, honey, that dress that she's got on is giving me life, or the video of a guy falling makes me laugh with hysteria, if you will. Continuing this vein of understanding what, ooh, she gives me life, girl, means, is that that statement is one that is all around excitement. Giving me life is a phrase that is used to exclaim, that something or someone is exciting to you. The phrase may describe a variety of things such as people or videos or memes or pictures or songs. It's a hyperbolic phrase, meaning that is of exaggeration, that equates life, if you will, with something that is amusing or entertaining. The phrase may be said aloud or used online, especially on social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're all familiar with those. It's such as an example is, that new song by the Queen Bey is giving me life. Now, for those of you that may not know, Queen Bey is the one, the only Queen herself, Beyonce. But we also are seeing it down below by the one and only Jesus Christus that's saying, yes, you are giving me life right now because you got mad swag. Now, many of you might be wondering why I'm having fun with this and playing with us in such a way today. It's because we continue with our theme for the month of August, which is vitality. Vitality, a way of life. And the quote for us that I have this morning in regards to that is this: vitality shows, and not only the ability to persist, but the ability to start over. Let's look at vitality again as a definition as we move through this month, the month of August, choosing and committing to live a more vital life, day by day by day, thought by thought by thought, reaction by reaction, and interaction by interaction. And sometimes that is the interaction simply with ourselves in the privacy of our own home. Vitality is defined, as we learned last week, as the state of being strong and active. It's energy. And we all know, and certainly in metaphysical terms, but life as well, that every single thing in life is energy. As well as vitality is defined as the power giving continuance of life, presence in all things. What we're learning here is that vitality, it's life, it's a life force, it's health, it's youth, it's the ability to live or exist, is something that exists within us, whether we're aware of that or not. And just as we did earlier in our ritual of calling in the light, what's incumbent upon you and I, if we choose to have a life that is more vibrant with energy of not just healthy energy, not just conscious energy, but energy that reflects the qualities of the divine, of peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom, then you and I are to express the very thing, life, that already exists within us, so that the creative law of life can bring it back to us in return. The word vitality is derived from the Latin word vita or vita, which means life. So what we're being told is that no matter what's going on in life, as life, we already have within us life itself. I love this quote that when life gives you lemonade, make lemons. Life will be like, oh, what? What that's telling us is that today is the day that you and I have the opportunity to not just start anew, but to take what we know as a rule, which is when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, and flip it upside down. To use our contemplative nature, to use our ability as being one with the co-creative process of life in a new way today, to shake things up. And as we do that in a healthy way, we must then attract back into our world that which is reflective of what we're choosing to be and do in life, of taking lemonade and making lemons. For life is what we're talking about today. Expressing life, being life, living life, cherishing life, honoring life. In metaphysical old school terms, life is defined in this way by Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the teachings of the science of mind. The life is the animated principle of being. It is that inner something that makes everything live. What he's telling us here is life has two facets. It has two expressions. It is that inner something that gives life to all sentient beings and all things that are alive. While at the same time, at a different facet, a different level, if you will, it is the animated principle of being. What he's reminding us of is that you and I live life at all times within two facets, within two realms. We live in the facet, the realm of the divine, that which is unalterable, unchangeable, that we cannot both have more of or have any extracted from us. However, we can experience and express more of that, of how we show up in life and how we choose to be the thing itself. And so today I want you to ask yourself and think in a new way of what brings you life, what gives you life, what gets you pumped up, what gets you excited, what makes you create a situation so that life goes, what? So what gives you life in life? What gets you out of bed in the morning, not just because it's hard to get out of bed because we're in this COVID-19 state of life, but what is it that ignites the passion within you that allows you to live life with compassion? A reminder that passion in our terminology and faith, if you break it down, is pass I on. What stirs you in the mornings when you wake up to pass the I, the divine nature, the God, if you will, the thing itself that is within you onto the world so that you are a conscious participant in propagating more of the thing itself in the world and indeed making a difference. I know that as awakened metaphysicians, we're all asking ourselves, what can I do today, meaning both today, Sunday, August 9th in the year 2020, can I do to make a difference? But what can I do today in this block of time when we are ensconced, if you will, in the privacy of our own homes or others' homes and mind, and yet we're being called to make a significant difference on our planet as we're living during times where significant differences are being called forth, as we step into the evolutionary process of greater things being made manifest in our world. The great Katharine Hepburn tells us that vitality, that's the pursuit of life, isn't it? And I know that to be true, whether we're on a chronological journey and the demarcation is a 50 or 60, or one of my dear, dear friends who I was with last night who is about to turn 97. It is so clear that age does not bind us to vitality, state of mind, state of presence, state of being, which includes health, are the barometers by which we show up and engage in life and have the ability to live a vital life. But the great 13th century poet Rumi tells us, which we all know to be true, is that what you seek is seeking you. Now, I know for me in my evolutionary process of becoming a metaphysician and learning the nature of nature as far as the co-creative process of life itself, when I learned not only this statement, but as I began to learn at a deep visceral level that it is true, it changed me on every level. Because what this statement is telling us is that our role in the creative process of manifesting or demonstrating or attracting into our world the very thing that we are seeking to experience can only transpire when we choose to express it. And then to develop and hold the consciousness of that so that we attract it into our world. And this statement is saying to us that it is equally seeking us as we're seeking it. For those of you that have done counseling or spiritual mind treatment work with me, you often have heard me say at the end of our time together to remember that not only what you are seeking is seeking you, but as you get up and leave our session, with every step that you take beyond the chair that you're sitting in, that the very thing that you're seeking to experience is taking equal steps towards you. And there will come a moment when the two come together. You intersect, if you will, and the oneness of the spiritual truth of that thing that is being manifested, that is being demonstrated, that is now being expressed, is there for you. But to embrace that and hold on to it and live it and let it give you life as long as a vibrational frequency is a fit. To not cling and hold on to something as if your good is limited, but to embrace it and to enjoy it and participate with it, to dance with it as it's the beloved during this time. And the moment that the frequency, the vibration, the connection no longer is a right fit, to release it and let go and open your mind and your heart and your arms, ready to receive the next expression. In so doing, that gives one the opportunity to then live in the circular flow of life itself. My beloved friend Joe, that I was just speaking of, that's about to turn 97, has said often, and I've heard him talking about money, that money is circular, that to receive money, one must give it. In other words, that's the same thing for love and peace and beauty and power and light and wisdom, the qualities of the divine that you and I are equally imbued with. But we must be a conscious participant in this process. And so what's important for us to know is that if we are choosing to be on this evolutionary process of becoming more and more personally self-empowered on our spiritual awakening, it is incumbent upon us. And I invite us to do it today, to see life through a new lens. To ask yourself, girl, what gives me life? Meaning, are you willing to let go of the traditional method in which you show up in life, to shake things up and begin to see life through a new lens? The new lens that might be required for us to see life through today is indeed with compassion. It may be to understand that the times that we are living in are also the times that are a-changing. That yes, we are in a time where there has been this great awakening to not only the Black Lives Matter movement, but to become more and more aware of the wrongs that are taking place in society. And that we're called to be a conscious participant in the evolutionary process of that. But to also understand that change may not unfold in the big picture based on the schedule or the calendar that we have set before us. However, it will indeed unfold if we each do our part day by day, thought by thought, interaction by interaction, and reaction by reaction. What that means is for you and I to have a more evolved experience, we must be a more evolved being. What we're being called to do here, as it tells us on the screen, is to commit to being a conscious participant in living your life anew today. To do that with vitality, to do that with the force of life that is within us, and to do that by remembering that everything is energy and energy begets energy. But there's another way to do that, is to take a step back in life and to ask ourselves, has there ever been a time in my life, meaning the individual or the life of humanity, when we chose to see life through a new lens, to see life with a greater stance of possibility, and then held true to that idea and engaged in that idea, lived life according to that idea, lived with new activities, new practices, new ways of showing up, and ultimately what showed up was the experience or the manifestation or the demonstration? Well, of course, we've all had those experiences. And as we know in this philosophy and faith and way of life, that the principle of being that we're speaking of, that principle of life, that principle of creation is not bound by precedent. In other words, if it's created good in your life once, That doesn't mean it's the only time it'll happen. In fact, it's contradictory to that, or it's the opposite. Where its spiritual truth is that it's never bound by precedent. So it's never bound at all, meaning that it's the only thing that can bind your experience of a greater expression of the fulfillment and the fullness and the wholeness and the perfection of the thing that exists by means of you and by means of me, is our choosing to think and live in limited ways. And so today I invite us to begin to see life from a new perspective. It shows us here in this animated acronym that we have many different options on how we choose to see life. We can see it as limitless or love. We can see it with innocence or from an intimate perspective. We can see it with imagination and inspiration. We can see it with friendship and fun and freedom or fear. We can see it with exuberance and excitement and energy and excellence, and we can enjoy it. That what we're being told here is it's all up to you and it's all up to me as to how we show up and not only express life, embody life, and live life, but participate in what gives us life. And so I ask you today to connect in your mind, in your heart, your soul, and your being to the answer to the question, what gives you life? What gets you juiced? What makes you feel that excitement and that exuberance and that joy? In having conversations with many of you over the last few weeks, one of the constants that comes up, meaning one thing that happens constantly, not constants in a first name, is friendship. We can all agree that friendship gives us life. That one of the things that so many of us all speak of that we miss right now is the ability to be with friends. And I've encouraged several of you in our calls to find a way to socially distance, if that's something comfortable for you, to be with your friends, to be in the presence of the love that exists as your friends. I love this quote that tells us that life can give us a number of beautiful friends, but only true friends can give us a beautiful life. A beautiful life meaning an experience of life that is reflective of the beauty that exists within us, reminding us that beauty is one of the qualities of the divine, telling us that when we are with our true friends, those friends to the end, that it not only gives us life, but it creates this resonance field of energy that is reflective of the divine nature that exists within each and every one of us. And so it allows us to let our hair down or take it off sometimes, to show up without our makeup on and just simply be real with each other. And from there we feel safe. And it's from there that we have the opportunity to lean into the love and connect to the roots, as Laura was singing a moment ago. And so I know, and I affirm for all of us right now, that friends give us life. And as we begin to look anew at what gives us life, let's remember that friends indeed do that. And I invite you to bring into your mind's eye friends that are in your life that you would love to be with in some way, shape, or form right now. Ones that you enjoy dancing with and having a good time and shaking your groove thing. Ones that lift you up and put a crown on your head when you're down and having a hard time. Those best friends that bring you happiness in a way that is not even questionable. Ones that even like last night, I walked into my friends and to see them, and one made a comment that I had become buff, and I made a joke back in return. No, I'm actually just fat. I've been eating and drinking my emotions during this whole time. But what's so beautiful about that experience is none of it was done in any judgment whatsoever. It's all out of love. It's out of love of just cherishing and reveling in the opportunity to be together and to live out the namaste. The God in me honors and expresses the God in you, knowing that the God in you honors and experiences and expresses and honors the God in me. And it comes down to this last animated meme that's here on the screen of, let's face it, my friend, we're both gorgeous no matter how we show up in physical form, because the most important thing to remember is that we are not our physicality in life. We are the very thing that gives rise to that physicality, which is life. It's vita, it's vitality. But let's also know that there are other things other than just friends that give us life. Our pets give us life. Whether it's our cats that love to play ping pong, or this cute little boxer wiggling their butt here, or whether it's a bird or a hamster or a cat or whatever the case may be, that our pets give us life because they show up in life with unconditional love, being an example to us of how we can show up in life and give unconditional love, not hanging on to what was, but just simply showing up as if every single encounter is a new encounter. In other words, they show us how to live life as a metaphysician, which is remembering the love that we've been experiencing and sharing by not laughing or making fun of anyone like this cute little one here with the cone on their head, but more importantly, to start anew with every breath so that we may pass our eye on just like our pets do. And to remember that vitality shows us, and not only the ability to persist, but the ability to start over each and every day. But I invite you today to let's even expand what may gives us life and to fill in the blanks in your own accord. It may be music, it may be theater, it may be reading, it may be dancing, it may be sports in the way of football, basketball, soccer, also known as football, hockey, or baseball. I've already shared with you that drag queens give me life. It may be working out, of lifting weights or push-ups or running or feeling the endorphins of exercise. And it may even be camping, being in the great outdoors, feeling our ability to be one with nature. We all have our own unique ways of what gives us life, and that's the way it's supposed to be, because as we know from that great quote of Dr. Ernest Holmes, spirit has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. So you're supposed to be unique and different. And so I also love this quote from Martha Graham, which is, there's a vitality, a life force, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And there is only one of you in all of time. This expression is unique, and if you block it, you will never exist. I can't see that through any, it will never exist through any other medium and will be lost. What we're being told here is that open the channel up and let who you are out to the world and what gives you life out to the world right now, today. Be the artist of your own creation, for she goes on to say that the world will not have you giving it that block. It is not your business to determine how you express yourself and how good it is, not how it compares with other expression. It's your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, and to keep the channel open. You do not even have to believe in yourself or your work. What is required of you is to keep open and aware directly to the urges that motivate you. Keep the channel open. No artist is pleased. There is no satisfaction whatever at any time. What she's telling us here in this quote is that we are called in this very moment and every moment to be a conscious participant in the co-creation of the expression of life, our life, no matter what is going on in the external world. To remember that there's only a queer, divine dissatisfaction unfolding, a blessed unrest that keeps us marching and making us more alive than the others. Today is the day for you and I to tap into our vitality, both our divine vitality and our human vitality in a new way, because human vitality is so exuberant that in the sorriest desert, it still finds a pretext for glowing and trembling. What we're being told there, as we've been told in the Bible, that lying and smiling repose for us is an energy, a power that is so powerful, ready to meet us as an individuation of it, no matter what's going on in the desert, what appears to be of maybe creativity, but to let it out. And in so doing, as we give it attention, it will magnify and create and make a difference on our planet and within your own private world. And so today, on this great day of Sunday in August, I remind you, just as the one and only RuPaul did for years and years, as you step into your creativity, as you step into your expression of who you are as a being of light, you better work, girl. You better tap into it, own it, set it free, and step away from the doldrums, everyday, boring way of living life and live anew, because the truth is, no matter what life gives you, we're responsible to give more back. Remember, when life gives you lemonade, make lemons. And then life will be like, what? Meaning, if you did the work of you better work, girl, life will indeed be all like, what? What's he doing? Because Rumi has already told us all the way back to the 13th century that what you seek in life is indeed seeking you. And so as you begin to navigate this journey today of becoming more spiritually awakened, and in so doing, become more personally self-empowered, remembering that the law of life brings to us what we put out, I don't invite you, I almost command you to dream more and to complain less, to play more and to work less, to listen more and talk less, to believe more and to doubt less, and to love more and argue less, to relax more and to worry less, and to hope more and to fear less. And if we all choose to do these things, or even just one of them today, you won't go far wrong. Not only will you not go far wrong, you'll actually go far right. And so let's you and I take a deep breath in together right now, and let this message anchor us into the calling to live life highly in tune with the very thing that gives us life. For all there is life. And so it is. Thank you. It's my distinct honor and pleasure to present to you Laura Berman again. Laura?
Thank you. I don't think I could ever unsee that dog wagging his tail. There's a part in the song, if you want to sing along, please do. It goes like this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah. People get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need no ticket, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear those diesels humming. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Here we go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. People get ready, there's a train coming, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is the key, open the doors and board them. There's room for all among the love the most. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ooh. Do 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 do. no room for the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to save his own. Have pity on those whose chances are thinner, 'cause there's no hiding place from the kingdom's throne. Oh, people get ready, there's a train a-coming. Don't need no ticket, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear those diesels humming. Don't need no ticket. Ooh, we don't need no ticket. Just thank God, yeah. We can thank the Lord. Get ready. We're gonna get ready. Don't need no ticket. We don't need no ticket. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Getting ready. Do 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 do.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Laura.
You.
Just want you to know that during your song, it was being typed in the chat window that you give people life. So, so I want you to know that. So thank you. Big heart back. So thank you, Laura. What a pleasure to have you here with us this morning, and sending well wishes and love and light to you and your husband, Craig, there in the city of Portland, Oregon. And so we now move to a part of our ceremony service where is the opportunity to support our community financially. And so I'm going to put on the screen the options and ways to do that. And I want you to know how deeply appreciative we are that you continue to support us at this time in the evolution of who we are as a community. And here are the physical options that you have for that. You can go to our website and click on go to our website, csl-la.org, and click on donate. You can go to the app in the App Store, Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, click on the upper left bars and the screen will pop up and you can see the donate tab. Or you can mail in a check and you see our address there at 1200 North La Brea Avenue in West Hollywood, California, 90038. Or my phone number's there and you can call me there if you'd like for me to handle that in a private manner. I'm more than happy to do that. So thank you very much. As we prepare to do that, Yaron will take us through our song, Love is My Decision, and I'll close that out with an affirmative prayer. Yaron?
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, Source will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here, right now.
And so I affirm for each of us that love indeed is our decision. And so we consciously choose to be a participant in the law of circulation. And so that which we have given today is a reflection of a consciousness that is evolving. I affirm for each one of us today that we are indeed in good stead in our minds in regards to being a conscious participant in the co-creation of our own life. And so we give with love. As Dr. David Walker used to say, one cannot give with a clenched fist. And so as we extend our arm and our hand to give today, we do so knowing that we are propagating good not only as the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, but as individualizations of the only thing there is, making a difference on this planet in a way that is both measurable and impactful. And I speak gratitude for each one of us for the opportunity to be in the flow. And so it is. So thank you all for being here today. I want you to know that you're acknowledged and honored and appreciated and celebrated. As a community, we've been around, as I've said before, for 30 plus years, and know that you're all deeply honored and appreciated for showing up and being who you are. And it has been my intention and objective to give you some tools today to make a difference in your own life. And I trust and hope that that indeed has taken place. If you've been joining us through Facebook Live, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you with us today, and hope that you choose to be a participant with us again at another time. In the vein of thank you, I want to give a huge shout out to our guest artist today, Laura Berman. Laura, thank you for being here with us today through the virtual world and sharing with us your gifts. A big thank you to Yaron Spiwak, our music director, for the work that he does and the music and gifts that he shared with us today. A big thank you sent out to Travis Smith, our audio engineer, who takes great care of us, and he takes great care of us. Thank you, Travis. And a huge shout out to our administrative assistant as well as tech support, Rob Hensley, who's managing all our social media sites. A big thank you to you as well. A big thank you to each and every one of you for being a participant again, and know that we're deeply appreciative that you're here and participating in this community, making a difference. Lastly, I'd like to let you know that we have practitioners. They're licensed practitioners. They are trained to meet with you virtually online to support you in any challenges that you may have in your life, to work with you in speaking and knowing spiritual truth and using the tools of spiritual mind treatment to do that. You can access their information and all information regarding who we are as a community on our website, CSL-LA.org, as well as through our social media platforms, both Facebook and Instagram. You can find all of that information and anything else that you'd like to know from our website. So I honor you and I thank you for being here today. I'm going to close with a meditation, and following that meditation, we will disconnect from Facebook, and at that point I will give our community instructions that are here via Zoom to turn their cameras on, and following turning your cameras on, once we can see everybody, I'll give you the instructions to turn your microphones on and we can all say hello to each other. And so with that, let's close with a meditation. If you feel so compelled, I invite you to close your eyes. As you peer into the back of your eyelids, that place we call the optic screen. Let's inhale together to the count of 3, which we will then hold, and exhale out through our mouth to the count of 3. Inhaling through our nose, 2 and 3, holding. As we exhale out through our mouth, 1, 2, and 3. Allowing ourselves to go deeper. Inhaling together again. Holding and exhale. Today is the day. Today is the day that vitality as a way of life is our reality. Breathing in together again and holding. Exhaling. Today is the day that we align ourselves with the thing that gives us life. Exhaling. Today is the day that we appreciate and participate in our beloved friendships in a new way. Breathing in again, holding, and exhaling as we go deeper. Today is the day that we give ourselves a break. And just allow the power and the presence of the only thing there is to be known in a new way. For today is the day that we start anew. For today is the day. As we inhale together again, 1, 2, and 3, holding. With this exhalation, we begin to rise from this meditation. 1, 2, and 3. Feeling the vibrational shift in our being as we begin to rise, letting that be an example to us of the opportunities to shift and co-create anew. We inhale together again, 1, 2, and 3, holding. And as we exhale this time, we become more and more aware of our surroundings. 1, 2, and 3, as we open our eyes. We feel gratitude for today and for our ability to participate in it being the day that we desire. For today is the day. And so it is.